Doppelganger Ritual 4. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Black Sunday Readings. Now my dear companion Wonderfen is here, and of course we will once again be reading something terrifying for you. Now the music has started, and the story is called The Doppelganger Ritual. Are you ready?
That I am.
The Department of Parapsychology, London, item number 1282. The date is the 15th of March 1996. This was found in the basement of a Gallows Ditch House, Highgate in London. The item is a box containing papers and broken shards of mirror. The box is made from oak, measures exactly 11 inches by 11 inches. And it is fitted with a brass lock, which appears to have been forced open. All four sides and the lid are ornately carved with detailed faces. The eyes have been inlaid with ivory. The papers within are foxed with age, most are water damaged. One page of interest, the most intact, of course, and better preserved, is marked with the date 24th September 1966 and is titled Doppelganger Ritual 4. Invocation of the Double Self by Edmund Gray.
In handwritten form, the rest reads as follows. Here I shall transcribe the secret ceremony of invoking the double self. All procedures prior to this are to be disregarded, as no successful results were made by my past attempts. Here is the perfected ritual in detail. I have documented this for posterity only, and strongly advise against practicing the following without a sound mind, the proper knowledge and tools for protecting oneself against malevolent forces that may manifest themselves because of deviation or carelessness. And now part 1, the ritual.
I see. So we highly advise that you practice this because it sounds like a fantastic thing to do in your spare time. Give me a moment. Just wanted to make sure that we have it set for the ratings. Now, the objects you will require for this ritual, and you should, of course, practice this. We do advocate that. Just kidding. A tall, freestanding mirror, a small, sharp blade, candles, a large quantity of iron fillings, a large black sheet of fabric, and 1 gram of psilocybin mushrooms, magic mushrooms for those of you who prefer the street terminology. It's optional, but...
However, it's optional, yes.
No, I think you should have it. It'll probably be better. Now then, would you like to carry on telling them what to do?
It is preferable that this ritual be performed late at night, so you have complete peace, as it is, free from any unwanted interruptions. Prepare an empty room. This room must be used only for the purposes of this ritual, and kept locked at all times, and the windows must be blocked out completely. Now, stand the mirror at the north wall. Seal the room by pouring the iron filings in a continuous line all around the room, making sure to encompass the mirror in this protective space.
Consume the dried psilocybin mushrooms, the magic mushrooms. The hallucinogenic effects of the fungi will break down the walls of reality between this and other planes of existence. It will also highlight your awareness of the elusive and arcane forces that secretly reside in all things. Now wait 1 hour and about 30 minutes for the mushrooms to take effect before proceeding further. Now remove all items of clothing and stand before the mirror. Arrange the candles in a circular manner around yourself and light them. Take the small blade and make a deep cut along 1 finger. When the blood is flowing, anoint all around the edge of the mirror.
Now, stand very still and stare at your reflection. Study every inch of your body, starting with the feet first, and work your way up. When you've reached the head, look deep into your eyes and say, Spirits of the veiled realm, beings of the looking-glass world, speculum speculorum, I invoke you now to assist me in my quest. From the night world beyond the borders of reality and time, ancient ones, aid me now and give me your blessing.
Close your eyes and in your mind imagine the mirror as a doorway. Breathe deeply in through your nose. Hold for 3 seconds and then out through your mouth, counting down from 10 with each exhaled breath. Step through the mirror door. Above, around, and below you is complete and utter darkness. You're suspended in an infinite black void. The air is buzzing with static energy which permeates every fiber of your being.
Now envision a bright blue flame materializing from the center of your chest. Concentrate on its glow, see it burn brighter and brighter. Now it grows in size until it is encompassing your entire body, and in your mind say, I am a beacon, I summon you. I am a beacon, I invoke you. I am the key, and I have opened the way. Follow this spirit light and enter this earthly realm. Next, in your mind, turn around and face the mirror door. Do the breathing exercise again, this time counting from 1 to 10, then exit. Now, open your eyes.
The next step of this ritual requires your utmost concentration and diligence. With all your being, will your reflection to move by its own accord. Ask it in your mind to move a hand or blink. Whatever you choose, as long as you focus intently upon your reflected self. Do this for at least 30 minutes. If you feel stronger, push it to a full hour. Now, do not expect to get immediate results. This does take some time to master. If you are successful, you may at first feel or rather see your reflected self glimmer or twitch ever so slightly. With continued perseverance, you'll be able to see more dramatic movements. Do not be disappointed if you see nothing at all. This takes time, patience, and plenty of practice. This ends the ritual. My dear, you may carry on.
Oh yes, it does continue. I did not see that. Perform this ceremony again twice a week or more. At the end of each session, cover the mirror with a black cloth, extinguish the candles, and give thanks to the spirits. When exiting the space, be careful not to break the protective seal. Then lock the room. And now on to part 2, the arrival of the double self, as it is.
The rest of the document is missing, unfortunately. It has been torn away, but from what we have... Searching the property, we found the room described in the ritual guide. It was located on the 2nd floor and has been locked with 2 locking bolts, each with heavy padlocks. Upon removal of these, we discovered inside a tall tree, a tall freestanding frame which was on the mirror. The glass had been removed. On the floor beneath it were a few small fragments, haphazardly scattered about with pages of what seems to have been a diary. Assembling these in order, the last entry is dated 7th October 1966, and it reads, He is here, he is me. He has locked me in this room and has taken my place. I'm fading away. I have made a terrible mistake, and I am now paying the price for my meddling and my arrogance. I cannot tear myself away from the mirror. I have no reflection. My skin is crawling with unseen things, and it is driving me insane. The mirror is watching. The unearthly horror that is the black void beyond fills my dreams and relentlessly haunts my waking hours. I've tried to break the mirror, but some great force has its hold over me. My body is not my own. I am changed, but I am the same. I can't take this anymore. I'm losing my mind. Don't look at the mirror. Attached is a black and white photograph of a blurred face. On the back is written, in reverse, My name is Edmund Gray. Inspecting the mirror frame, we found traces of blood, deep scratch marks, and embedded in the wood itself, several torn fingernails. What do you think of that story, my dear Wonderfin?
If you wish to be tormented by the things that are in reflections and mirrors, which are, of course, all around us every single day, by all means, subject yourself to this ritual.
In that case, I think I'll give it a 4 out of 5, and good job overall. Right, shall we do one more, since that one was fairly short?
Sure, you pick the next one, because I picked that one.
I think we should choose Higher Power. It's short and looks crazy.
Sure.
Do you have it?
it is up.
Excellent. Then let us give it a try. A try with a little bit of a cry. The chairs were the old-school folding kind, brown metal with tan cushions that were almost comfortable. They were usually folded and stacked neatly against the wall in the basement of the church on Deonan Street. 3 times a week they were unfolded and made into a circle, once for the Bible Book Club on Monday afternoons, another time for prayer group on Tuesday mornings, and then every Friday night for meetings.
Some Fridays, the circle could get up to 20 members. Most weeks it was half that. Tonight was less. Langston didn't really care. He just needed a meeting. It had been 6 years since the last time he got high. That didn't matter. His life was a constant series of triggers. Whenever he felt like pulling one, he would end up here, in this circle, or one just like it, telling strangers he occasionally recognized explicit details of how he threw away his life. The ritualistic aspect of it was important. The circle was important. The repetition was important.
I see. They joke about how people get addicted to meetings instead of drugs. Langston didn't mind the trade-off. At least meetings didn't send you to the emergency room with abscesses or into jail for the weekend, sick and detoxing. They don't kill you and swallow you whole like addictions do. He sat down at one of the chairs, 6 synthetic sugar packets heartlessly drowned into his coffee. The styrofoam cup was warm in his cold hands. The meeting was about to start.
There was a banging noise coming down from the hall. It sounded like a door that hadn't been closed properly, and echoing, cavernous booming rattled through the empty basement and into the little meeting room. The girl next to him was pounding her feet against the cement floor in time to the noise. She was grabbing her knees with her fingers. Her nails were mostly imaginary, though, gnawed nearly to the bed. Between the way she looked and the way she acted, either it was her first meeting or a court-mandated appearance. Both options were lousy, of course. He smiled at her, and she turned her head slightly. There was something wrong with her eyes.
She looked down again. Her blonde hair with dull roots obscured her face and her eyes. He could hear her teeth grinding against each other. It sounded like an old and dying machine. He looked away. Someone was speaking. It was Mark. Langston had seen him at dozens of meetings. He had heard his story dozens of times. He could tell it. Wife divorced him, then he was fired, now his brother was dying of esophageal cancer. The repetition was good for people. The ritual was important.
The door rattled off in the distance. It sounded like it was being slammed and reopened by the wind. It had been breezy all day, with the October leaves flying and twisting in little patterns across the sky, red and gold and dying in celebratory sacrifice for the coming of fall. After Mark finished, someone else meant. Langston heard them as a dull noise, waves in a seashell in another room. He couldn't focus. He couldn't stop thinking about her eyes.
She was still grinding her teeth, and he noticed her knuckles were cut up and weirdly scarred. She was making very, very weird noises, very, very quietly. Deep, jagged breaths when another noise coming from her, a weird sibilant sound. Was that really what her eyes looked like? He must have been a light, a reflection. Someone was talking. He couldn't hear a thing. He tried to pay attention. The person talking was saying it seemed like there was a new member, and would she want to say something? He saw the girl next to him raise her head, and she stood up. There was a loud bang down the hall. The lights flickered. They came back on. The girl's breathing sounded weird. She turned and looked at him. Her eyes, it wasn't the light. That's what they looked like.
Sure, she said. Her voice sounded so normal. That made it worse. I'd love to tell you my story. What was that noise in the hall? It almost sounded like something was walking around. My name is Emily.
Hi, Emily. Even Langston said it. It was automatic. The ritual only works if you participate. And repetition helps.
This is my story. It started 3 years ago. The first time I got high, my mom had surgery on her knee. I tried some of her pain meds. They were awesome. I collapsed on the couch after taking them. I was made of cumulus clouds and unicorns. I was composed of rainbows and garden gnomes. So I took more, obviously, then some more. Then I got some from my friends. The pills, they cost too much. Then I found out heroin was a lot cheaper than prescription pills and much easier to get. This next part is a part in behind the music for the comeback, she said, and she pushed her hair back. Langston saw someone stare. Did they see the eyes? I got really messed up on heroin. My friends weren't always my friends. I did a lot of things I really regret. I should have died. I wish I did. It would have been better than this. Maybe.
She smiled. What was going on with her jaw? It seemed to pulse. There was another noise in the hole.
2 months ago, my friend and I were trying to score. We were getting sick. We were sleeping in an underpass. We didn't have anything. My friend Amy, she drew a circle, like this.
Something was outside in the hall. Langston knew there was something. It wasn't a loose door, it was moving and getting closer. He wanted to get up and run out, but he felt like he couldn't move. Instead, he just listened to the noise, a rattling noise, a hissing, like air escaping a tire.
We decided we were going to call something to help us, get us high or whatever. To not feel sick or something. Whatever though, it doesn't matter now.
In the hallway the noise grew louder, a hypnotic rattling circular noise.
Anyways, we made the circle, we called it, and it showed up. It immediately showed up, though, like it had been waiting for this moment forever. I guess it had.
Mark, with the divorce and unemployment and dying brother, stared at her. All the veins in his neck stuck out like new blades of grass in the summer.
The first thing that happened was it killed Amy, dead, totally dead, and then it ate her. After that, it spoke to me, asked if I wanted what I'd called for, did I want its help, and I told it, yeah, because why not? I'll take living and not dying for 500, Alex.
Langston realized the feeling he had of being trapped wasn't just a sensation. He couldn't move his body. It was as if he was nailed to the old school brown metal chair with the almost comfortable cushion.
He told me he had been asleep for a really, really long time. Now he was up, because of us, and all he wanted was to eat. He didn't really ever want to stop eating again, though, so we made a deal. I helped him out. If I brought him to places where he could eat, he'd help me out. He couldn't get me heroin, but he could get me high in a different way. I could eat with him. I said yes, so then he changed me. Ice first, though, then the other thing.
She looked over at Langston, her slit pupils widened and contracted in the fluorescent light. He felt his legs spasm, and she laughed.
And guess what? I like this better than junk, better than anything. He told me the more pain and sadness people have in their life, the better they taste. All that sorrow flavors the body.
She walked over to Langston. She put her hand on his shoulder. Her hands didn't feel like skin. Not like human skin, anyway.
And he's right. Sadness tastes magnificent, like rainbows and unicorns. But he needs a circle to pull him into this world. So I told him I had an idea. A way we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Or, kill something, at least.
Behind the door, something hissed.
This is our 5th meeting. 5th town in 2 months. No one has caught on yet. Of course, we don't leave a lot of evidence in our wake. Most of it we swallow.
Her mouth changed and opened wider, then wider, then wider. Her jaw unhinged as they watched helpless. Her tongue, forked and long, emerged from her red mouth like a newborn child. She licked the air and smiled at Langston.
I think you're first, she said to him quietly, then louder. We're ready.
And the door opened. I see. Okay, that was interesting. So, that's what happens when you sell your soul to a demon. What would you rate that one? 4 drugs.
I liked that one. I liked that one a lot.
I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5 then. But let me just say something. While you were reading her lines, for some reason, there was an
Unfortunately, I have to go and fight people with swords.
Yes, and unfortunately I have to go study for exams, but Black Sunday readings and our poetry readings will be back very soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, please do enjoy. And yes, you were saying something?
Yes, wish us luck with fighting things with the pen and the sword.
Both the pen and the sword. And of course, don't forget you can always tune in to my gaming live streams. Now we have donations, music, and a lot of other things. And hopefully, after June, we have Fen too. Goodbye, my friends.